Hello, my name is Daniel Hanover, and I will be going over metals and steel for CMGT. Today we're going to go over sustainability and steel frame construction, history of steel, steel itself, steel framing details, construction process, uniqueness of steel, and terms and concepts. First, we'll go over the sustainability and steel frame construction. So the overall production of steel has reduced energy costs. Uh, they have better manufacturing processes and whatnot that have overall reduced energy when manufacturing this material. And in doing so, they while they do this, they recycled 98% of water. They're able to utilize recycled steel to make it more of a green product, and steel versus wood or any other product requires less material to do the same amount of work. So the history of steel began in the 1800s. Mild steel began in 1890s. The Virginia Baptist Hospital is actually the first documented building to utilize steel in 1925. It appeared at the World Fair in 1933, at which time next, the production of structural shapes, steel structural shapes, H or I, and channel beams. They are cold fabricated by progressively deforming welded seam steel tubing made from hot or cold rolled steel in a welded tube mill. The picture up to the right is of the original patent for structural shapes, U.S. Patent 3698224. Cast steel refers to the normal carbon steel and alloy steel, also known as steel casting. Carbon content lower than 2%, less malleable and workable than cast iron. Cold work steel material or metals can be forced into new shapes at room temperature by cold working. There's several methods. Cold rolling, the metal strip is passed through two rolls that have only a narrow gap between them. Drawing, the metal is pulled through a small hole in a die. Deep drawing, a punch forces the metal sheet into a die. This is the process used to make seamless tubes and can in some cans. Sometimes cans are formed from a flat sheet and welded. And then there's pressing. A metal sheet is pressed onto a shaped die or mold to form the intricate shape, such as a car body panel. Open wedge joists, engineered truss-like component. They're short and long spans. They have different designations. K and KCS are utilized for shorter spans, and LH, DLH are used for longer spans, and finally, the SLH is for spans longer than 120 feet. Next, we have joining steel members, the bonding that holds members together. Typically, the connection is the failing point. Most common is to have connecting material such as a plate or an angle. Another common method is to bolt members together. If you look to the right, these are obviously bolted together. Steel framing details, so the typical connections, bolting, plate, angles, as stated earlier. Stabilizing the building frame, 4 categories: floor system, vertical load resisting systems, dampening systems, material load resisting systems. Shear connections, simple connections may be made of the web of the supported member while the flanges remain unconnected. The moment connections, their rigid connection, carry a portion or the full moment capacity of the supported member, typically designed to also carry the shear component of the load. And then the uniqueness of steel, it's inexpensive, fire resistance, structural efficient, and malleable. So here are some of the terms and concepts that we'll be going over next. First, we have I-beam, also known as a H-beam, W-beam, universal beam, rolled steel joist, or double T. Horizontal elements are known as flanges, and the I portion is known as the web. And these are used in structural steel, and you can see the depiction of the flange and webs to the right. Next, we have a wide flange. It's an I-beam with longer flanges. Again, the flanges are the horizontal portions of the I-beam. Typical dimensions are listed as W number by number. So this one, for an example, it'd be W6 by 25, 6 being 6 inches deep and 25 being 25 pounds per foot. So next we have angle. Structural angles have an L-shaped cross section. Standard lengths are 20 and 40 feet. And then you can see on the right here on the picture, this darker shape right here, that would be an example of angle on a drawing. Number 6. Next, channel. Structural channel, also known as C-beam. Commercial and civil use, often used where the flat back side of the web can be mounted to another flat surface. T, mounting brackets, used for mounting brackets, lintels, and ornamental projects. And then gusset plate, made of cold rolled or galvanized steel, either square or rectangular, but may be custom sized to fit a particular joint. May be the only point of connection or used with fasteners such as nuts and bolts. And you can see right here, it's not exactly a square or rectangular, but that it's one of those custom shapes, and it's used for this specific purpose for this building here. Next we have bar, also known as billet, from raw purified metal, used to manufacture metal parts and products. Metal roof decking, a cold formed steel panel usually used as a structural platform to form a roof or a floor. Cellular decking, it's essentially the same as the other decking, except it has a flat pan underside, which gives it more of a aesthetically pleasing look for architectural finish or exposed deck. Composite metal decking has embossments in the vertical ribs that bond with the concrete slab to develop a composite floor system. Acts as a form during the concrete pour. Once the concrete cures, the resulting composite floor system provides a superior strength and stiffness. So if you can see here, it's the same as the deck, but you have the concrete going within all of these webs here, and then you can see all these blue little lines here that would represent the rebar or wire mesh, whichever. And then if anyone has questions, you can send them to my email, which is listed there. I'll give you a moment to copy that down. And then, of course, all my references listed here for additional details or anything else you would need.